Okay, welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is my first mod review for FS25. Well, I suppose it's sort of my first mod review. Something I've not really done much of. I did do a couple, the Case IH thing that came out, the Farm Oil one. I did a mod review of some things back then, but I think for FS25 I'm going to start making a bit more content, different content, and we'll see how it goes. So the game's been out, well, for me, this is Saturday the 16th. There are a few mods out now. There's some Giants ones which were released pretty soon into the launch of the game. I'm not going to cover those because they're Giants mods. So there are a few that's come out. Some of them I'm not bothered about. Like there's a couple where you can just increase the amount of sort of productions you have. I'm not really bothered about doing that. I think apparently there's a 60 production limit on the maps, and this all they do is increase it to 120. But we'll cover what mods I'm interested in as well. Some that I'll probably never use in game, but you know, they look okay. So first of all, the one that I want to look at first is the one that I'm having to use. I've never used it before in any other one, and it's the government subsidies. So here it is. Here you just stick down a sign. So this mod here, it's released by Realismus Modding, version 1.0.0.0, and it's 2.3 megabytes. So there's a couple of options here. You place it using the construction menu. As you can see, this one says government subsidised. There's also a municipal subsidy, and the difference being, if we just go to the menus, I'm still getting used to the menu system. So we go into construction. I think it's in factories, and you've got selling points, greenhouses, cultivation, generators. I'm not so keen on this box being so big up here. I'd rather like you maybe selected it and it popped up or did something. But anyhow, so you get your government subsidy. They cost nothing to place. And in your sort of F1 menu there, what's normally the top left, it's obviously top left of the farming screen now. You can place the item, you can toggle free mode, and then you've got your customize. So if we look at customize, which keyboard is F, it takes you to a separate menu. You're now kind of out of your construction thing. You can't place anything. You can move the map around though. Didn't realise that. And so you've got £4,000 a month. You've got £40,000 a month. They're both the municipality ones. And then it jumps up to 400,000. You get your government subsidies and 4 million. I've actually placed 4 million. Just because we haven't got easy dev, so I can't easily add money to the game, so that's why I've put this in. As you can see, I'm up to 1.1 million now. I started with 1 million, but I've started to build a farm. This is going to be I don't know, Malk's mod farm, I don't know, something like that. So yeah, that's giving me whatever you put here every game month. So if you're playing on 1 day a month, you'll get it every time you sleep, and then if you've got like 3 days a month, then you'll have to wait for 3 sleeps before you get your subsidy, or your full subsidy at least. So what you would do then, if you want to place that one, in fact I'm just going to place a municipal one at 40,000. I'm in this menu, I can't place it, so I'm going to press escape to go back, and that now puts you back into the free mode, well, the placement mode, and I'm actually just going to place this one right behind. So what we could do, let's just try this because I'm not in free mode. If I press B now, that puts us into free mode. I can place it anywhere. Could technically place it right behind. And then we've got snapping off. So let me try R. So snapping, oh well, that might help you to line things up in future. I might be interested in trying that. So I can just place that right behind that one. If I knock it off, it would sort of, no, it wouldn't let me place it, but I'll tell you what, I'm just going to set snapping and I'll place it. There you go. So we've got the 2. Brilliant. So there you go. So now I'll be getting £4,040,000 every game month. Right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next mods we've got are the WS11 machinery sheds by AEN Design, version 1.0.0.0, which is probably going to be most mods just because it's the first one's out, and 12.37 megabytes to download. They cost $65,000 pounds or euros each and have a daily upkeep of 25. So what I've done is I've placed here, there's actually 2 versions. There's a WS11 machinery shed L and an R, and the difference is this door here. So because there's only 1 door in at the front, you can have the door on the left or on the right. What I really like about these, and it's something that I would probably be critical of a lot of shed designs, is the door movement. So usually you would come up to a door, you click it to close it. You actually have to walk up to where the door is as well. And often both doors would shut. So whereas this, because each door shuts individually, I think that makes it a bit more immersive, especially if you're one of those people who wants to do like a roleplay game. How do I shut this door? Where's the door gone? Is that it? Oh, it's there. That's why. There you go. Yeah, I think that just makes it a little bit more immersive. And I'm going to move out of third person. In here, you've got your light switches over here. So turn on shed lights. And there we go. So the sheds aren't exactly massive. They're certainly good for early game. Putting your medium tractors in, some small cultivation equipment, maybe balers, things like that. I haven't leveled this one properly. As you can see, it's floating in air. I'm still getting used to the whole sort of ground modification at the moment. It works okay. I'm getting better at it. I had to put a ramp in. What I found is that you place this building and it auto leveled the ground for me. But when I come to make this ramp, I couldn't get close enough to the building because this bit here didn't extend far enough away. And there was a collision with the sort of the construction tools, so I couldn't make the ramp. So I've had to place the building, delete the building, put in the ramp, and then replace the building. Fortunately, I didn't lose any money doing that. Not that it would matter in this game, but you know, when you're playing realistic and you place a building down and then end up losing half the value, it gets a bit annoying. But yeah, so I don't know if there's a way around that, of being able to like modify the terrain a lot closer to the buildings. But other than that, you've got, let's have a look in the menu for them. So we'll go to construction, and it's in sheds, right down at the bottom here. So these are the two buildings. So you've got your 11 by 20 meter left and the right. Once you get your shed, it's in a white colour, and this is something, I don't know if this is going to be like this for every mod, but certainly on this one it's pretty good. Yeah, so rotating the item, it's a bit of a snappy. If I just go here and do toggle snapping, is currently on. If I knock it off, then you kind of get your infinite rotation adjustment, which is nice. If you want to customize it, press F, and it basically gives you color options. I'm in the same situation as before, where I'm out of the construction mode, and I seem to have the full color palette available, which is pretty nice. There's some strange, oh, see, this is a bit weird. Yeah, so it seems as though when I just come into this menu, it's wanting to move the map. I don't know if that needs sorted by giants. But yeah, so there's all your colour options, and then to do anything further, you'd have to escape from that menu and place your building. Right, so that's the sheds. First shed's on Malk's Mod Farm, so we'll move on to the next bit of equipment. Okay, so the next mod we're going to take a look at here is a front cultivator. It's by DMI Yawnpuffed. It's on version 1.0.0.0 and 4.1 megabytes download. It's under the cultivator category, costs £16,995, dollars or euros. Quite like that. That's a realistic sort of figure for a bit of equipment. It needs 70 horsepower and has a 4.5 metre working width. So what I've done is I've paired it up with this seeder here. Got some canola in it because I'm in August. I've got seasons on. That's all I can do. So let's fire up the cultivator. Sorry, the seed drill. We'll lower it in. I've already done a little bit here, so no break in. I like that. I'll lower it in, drop in the cultivator, and away we go. So I think it works really well. Certainly going to speed up your gameplay, make things a lot easier. Not sure if it's realistic or not, but it's definitely a big help. The only thing I'm just wondering about is, because it's a 4.5 metre working width and the seeder's only 4 metres, what's going to happen when you go back the other way? Is it going to delete your crop? Are you going to have a small section that's... how do I lift up both again? There we go. There's the front one, there's the back one. Yeah, so if I go back this way now, am I going to end up with a slight bit of crop that's missing? So if I just do that there, we'll come back, we'll see if it has deleted the crop. So on here you can see it needs lime, needs rolling, weeds are growing. This section here just needs lime. Okay. But all the way back up here, yeah, I think this is a bit of a problem. I'm not sure how you'll get around that, so you kind of need to match your working width to your seeder. But yeah, not something I would use personally. I'd rather do it like the realistic way, but it's there if you want to try it. The next one we've got here is a notched Crossmax 600 disc harrow. It's by Vertex Design and it is 1.0.0.0 and 19.16 megabytes to download. Quite a nice looking cultivator. I'm just going to look in the store because this is one that we can actually configure. So it's here. Yeah, so it's basically the only difference you got is the designs, which I think is just that sort of warning sign at the back. 3 different designs. Can't change colour, anything like that. It's 6 meters wide. Needs 180 horsepower, which I'm sure my Series 8 will manage. So let's go up. It does fold. There we go. Quite nice to hear some hydraulic sounds as well. I'm not sure, did we have that in the last version? But yeah, that's quite nice to hear. So what we'll do is just run up to the field. We'll drop it in. See what it does. So we've already cultivated and seeded this bit of the ground. Right, yeah, it's working absolutely fine. Let's just go and have a run more into the field and get a better impression of what it's doing. Okay, so definitely working okay. Good running speed, good width. Yeah, so that is empty, just ready to be seeded. And it has deleted the seed that we put in here as well. Okay, so I've got 3 mods now I want to talk about. The first one is this Wilco Tech Bale Spike. It's by Vertex Design on version 1.0.0.0 and 1.05 megabytes to download. It's going to cost $1,200 pounds or euros. And just works with all front loaders as far as I'm aware. And the other 2 mods, which are kind of relevant to it. First one is the Rounder Wrapped Bales. For me, this should be in the base game. Giant should never have made the square-edged round bales. I've used Rounder Wrapped Bales in all my games in FS25, in FS22, and honestly, I think it's just how it has to be. So the Rounder Wrapped Bales, again by OlaHaldor, it's on version 1.0.0.0 and it's 0.67 megabytes to download. So once we've made some bales, it does change the look of straw bales and hay bales as well, but yeah, it's definitely more noticeable on the wrapped bales. And then the third mod, which is again a really handy mod, which I only really got into late on into FS22, is called Round Bale Extension, and that's by IFCO NATO. It's on version 1.0.0.0 and is 0.07 megabytes to download. And all that does, I know a lot of people do use this, it just means you don't have to stop the baler once it's full. It'll slow your tractor down automatically. It's absolutely brilliant for when you're on cruise control. You can just fly around the field and never have to worry about stopping and then have to reverse because you've gone over your swath. So let's just fire up the baler first, and we'll drop the, I'll have to put the, there we go, drop it in, and let's get some silage bales made. So this is the first silage bales I've done in FS25. I did notice that with, so there we go, I'm keeping my throttle down and it stopped me. I'll have to knock auto unload on. I'm holding the throttle down still, and now we're set off again. So yeah, absolutely game changer of a mod this for me. And as soon as this bale drops, we'll get out and we'll have a look at it. There we go. Right, let's get out and have a look at that bale. So as you can see, the edge is now perfectly round, as though the wrap has pulled it in. If it was the normal base game, it would have a much more square edge to it, which just isn't realistic at all. But this But this round baler extension mod, absolutely brilliant. Don't ever have to worry about stopping it and running over your swath, having to reverse back up again. Okay, so that's our third bale made. So let's go and test out this bale spike. I think it's probably more suited towards square bales. Well, let's just have a quick look, see what the options are. So if I just move to the control group for it, I'm using a joypad here. So pick that up. So there is, which one's that, right stick? So all that's doing, I think, is opening up an extension so you can rest and stack more and more bales. Let's have a look, see how well that works. I think it's probably a bit wide for these round bales, seeing as these are quite small round bales as well. Well, let's just stack up a couple. I'll just get lined up a bit better. Okay. Alright, there we go. So if I was to just do that, as you can see, it just gives that bale a lot more support while you're lifting. Okay, that's the bale spike mod. Okay, so there's one more mod available which is relevant to baling, and that is the Unload Bales Early mod. It's by FarmSim Tim, Timmy86. It's on version 1.0.0.0 and is a 0.08 megabytes to download. And all this means is you can unload your bales before they've finished being made. Let me just drop the header down. So as you can see here, we're about to make a full bale. We'll get into the next one and we'll see if it'll work. We'll get this one half full with grass and then we'll see if it will let us unload early. Right, okay, there we go. So now if I press O, yeah, it's going to let us unload this bale. Right, so I'm just going to stop here and we'll just have a look to sort of prove that. So this bale that came out first should be a full bale. There it is 3,500 litres, whereas this one here 1,600 litres. So there you go, it works perfectly. Great for emptying your baler if you want to sell it or something like that. At least then you can get your final bit of money. Right, so I'm just going to head back to the dealership now because there's some mods there that I want to show you. But this gives us a great opportunity to show you this next mod, and it's called Auto Turn Off for Turn Lights, and it's by again by IFCO Nator. It's 1.0.0.0 and 0.08 megabytes to download. So what this does, we don't really use indicators much. Indicators in the UK, turn signals I suppose everywhere else. But there you go, I've set my left turn indicator, I turn to the left, and when I let go, it knocks it off for you. So you never forget to turn off your indicators. It's a nice little mod there, will really help you with your gameplay. I think I'm going to try and figure out how I can make a better sim for doing this game, and maybe even get some indicator stalks for my simulator rig that I want to build up. But that certainly will be a really handy mod to have, and one that I will try and use a bit more of. Okay, back at the dealership now, and this brings us on to our penultimate mod for this week. It's the Meyer Lone Recordia VW pack. 2 slurry sprayers by Vertex Design. Again, on, as you'd expect, on version 1.0.0.0, and they're 20.87 megabytes to download. There's two versions. There's a Recordia VW6000 and Recordia VW7000. The 6000 comes in at $10,400 pounds or euros, needs 65 horsepower to run, has a working width of 15 meters and a capacity of 6,000 meter cubed, as you would expect from the name. So the second one is the Recordia VW7000. It comes in just a little bit more expensive at $11,900 pounds or euros, has a 7 meter cube capacity, 7,000 litres, as you'd expect from its name. Needs a little bit more, 80 horsepower, has a 15 meter working width, and sprays at 9 miles an hour. Oh, 19 will be quick. Same options for both of them. You've got the slurry distributor. You can have standard, or you can have this mosher. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I did try and Google it. Use Google Translate, but all it changes is this sort of spray head here. So that's standard, just like a normal splash plate, and then this one here probably is more of like a sort of reciprocating thing. It looks as though it's on a pivoting head, so it'll probably just spray, you know, to the left and right as you're driving along. I haven't got any way of testing these at the moment. I can't fill them up with slurry. If you know a way of doing that without having to have your cows and create your own slurry, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, that would be really handy to know. So one more mod we've got to look at now is, it's called Special Offers. It's from Caslupper. It's on version 1.0.0.0, as they all are, and it's a 0.1 megabyte download. And what this does is it checks for special offers at the dealership and gives you a notification. So what it will do, I think I have to sleep first for it to actually kick into action. So I think what it'll do is every hour it'll check the used vehicle section and notify you of any new equipment coming in. Those notifications should appear just underneath the sort of information at the top right of your screen. So let's head back to the farm, and we'll go to sleep and see what happens. Okay, we're in the next morning. It doesn't seem to be any... Oh, there we go. New special offer. Heisemat HM 10500 KF. So if we go and have a look in here, there you go. It's the new one on the list. Comes in. Great little mod. I like that. So yeah, you should never ever miss a special offer ever again with that. Very handy little mod. But that is all I've got for this episode. So I'm going to try and keep up with mods. I'll probably just do the ones that I'm most interested in. Ones that I find useful. But yeah, I'll keep them going. So thank you for watching. Again, if you haven't bought FS25 and you are considering doing so, I do have a partner link down in the description. I know that FS25's come under a fair bit of criticism for its state of launch. I've been quite lucky. I've not had this issue with the flashing terrain and all the sort of the white flashes. I know I've seen it in a few people's videos. For whatever reason, I don't have it. I think it might be something to do with your CPU combination, but no one's really quite sure just yet. There are bugs, there are issues with the game. Some bits are just different to like what we're used to with FS22, and not necessarily worse, but there are things about it which I think Giants have missed a trick on or omitted from this version of the game that really we need. But I'm sure they're going to work at it and get the game improved over time. But that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.